Ready?
And action. Oops.
Welcome back, guys, to Open Water.
Bro, I feel like this is like the intro for a cult.
Oh my god, we should make it a cult. But it'd be a loving... Not all cults have to be bad, right?
I just feel like
the
they have
cult
weird
mentality.
energy.
I don't think it's the mentality of a cult. Everyone has to think along the same lines. No,
But our cult wouldn't be like that, though. Our cult would be about originality, being open, like the water and spaces.
I don't think it would be a cult then.
Okay,
Let's
whatever.
Look this up later. I'm seriously gonna look this up.
That was a fun introduction.
You're gonna look up cults later?
Yeah. I want to look up like what classifies a cult.
Then you should watch The Sacrament on Netflix.
I need a new show. So
it's a movie.
Well, fuck.
But it's a good movie, though. It's about a cult.
I don't know why it's so hard for me to watch movies. It's weird.
So I've been on a movie binge, and I've watched I watched all the Oceans. Finally, I never watched them.
I only watched the one with Rihanna in it.
Oh, so Ocean 8, the pro whatever.
The ladies.
Yeah, which I heard that one's really bad. But
I liked it.
Right, I think that's it.
I think they're comparing it
to the old ones.
Soderbergh,
and I literally said to him, the guy, I was like, "Did you not like it because it was women?" Because that's why I feel like you didn't like it. Because I heard it's the same concept that all the oceans are the same thing.
Yeah,
they were trying to pull off.
It's just hating that it's like. You know, female.
He is just he's a hater for the ladies.
I'm gonna send you this clip personally because I know you don't watch the podcast, but you're a hater.
Hater. I think anything with Rihanna, Sarah Paulson, Sandra Bullock, like I'm gonna watch because I like them.
Mindy Kaling, what? That's my bitch too.
Sarah Paulson, like that bitch can do no wrong.
I watched Run. Did you guys watch Run?
I haven't yet. Don't tell me anything about it.
Is it a movie? Or
it's a movie with Sarah Paulson. It's really good. It's on Hulu. You should watch it. Anyway, Christmas is next week. Christmas is next week. One more week, which I really don't care. I'm just acting like I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Look at your makeup, all Christmas themed already.
Well, yeah.
Look at that.
I'm really so excited. I love Christmas. I told you guys last week I love Christmas.
Yeah, and I get it. It's just I'm just not a Christmas person. Again.
Please don't be a Grinch.
I'm not a Grinch though. Like I'm happy for everyone. Yay, Christmas. Yay. Yeah.
This year definitely would have been the year that I would have actually bought you something, but I think I'm gonna make you something instead.
I mean, I'm not buying any of y'all shit.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, I mean it's already been established.
There's people who don't buy me gifts, but because I fuck with them, I buy them gifts.
Well, no, I'm just saying. No, I usually would buy gifts, but I have no money this year, so y'all are getting homemade gifts, which we all have already said.
I mean, you guys also know that I save everything, and I have a Christmas fund.
That's good for you. I'm happy for you. I should start doing that maybe, but I don't really have anyone I care about really.
Funds.
I mean, I care about y'all, but like,
excuse me,
I'm just over Christmas. I don't know.
It's not even here yet.
I know, and I'm already over it. I'm just ready for this year to be over. That's what I'm more ready for.
Gonna change. January 1st.
No, I'm not saying anything's gonna change, but you know, a new year, you just think
round 2.
You're just. It's like the possibility.
You sent that to me.
Yes.
It's literally was gonna like.
I don't have time.
I'm not thinking it's gonna be magically better, but it's just a new year means like. New things, like you can start fresh, even though I count my new year on my birthday. That's why I really think about it, because that's like a full year for your body in all reality. Mm-hmm. So like, but I'm still just excited because like 2021 does bring new things, like we're getting a new president, because it's fuck Donald Trump for the rest of our lives. So it's like, that's what
It was fuck Donald Trump when he was in office.
I said for the rest of our lives.
Well, it was fuck Donald Trump when he was first. You know,
I mean, in all reality, I didn't really care. Donald Trump didn't bother me when he was a celebrity.
He was so annoying. Like, I've never liked him. Like, the fucking Apprentice, I was like, bro, I want to punch him in the face.
I've never watched that show.
I watched like a couple episodes.
We
watched
were
obsessed with it in my high school. They were obsessed with it.
Yeah, we watched it in our marketing class, which a marketing teacher, I don't know.
It just wasn't a show that I was interested in.
Yeah, no, it's not a good thing anyway. Okay, I think my hair is down finally.
Alright, so the topic for this week?
Oh yeah, who wants to pick?
I finally got to pick last.
Finally, you picked the first topic. No, you didn't. You're right.
I picked the first one and the second.
No, I picked the second because it was.
So we all
you couldn't read it.
I read it again. It's Nasty's turn.
Go ahead, Nasty. Sassy. Look at you're so excited. I hope it's a good one. I feel like talking about something fun today.
Cultural appropriation.
Oh, it's gonna get juicy. Y'all might get offended, but I don't care.
So who wants to kick it off?
What did you say, Emily?
I mean, as the resident Black woman, which our culture gets appropriated every fucking day by y'all people, by white people, but it's whatever.
That's a black.
I'm just saying, but like you're an Afro-Latina, but your Latina side be appropriating our culture too. So, but we appropriate culture as well, which sometimes I think Black people can't appropriate culture, but we can. And we be disrespectful sometimes. I really don't know what to talk about culture appropriation because I don't know where to go with it.
I don't either. I just know people who do it.
People who, oh my gosh.
Like the Kardashians.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
see, no, we have discussed this. We have discussed this, and she's always like, I don't really think it's cultural.
I don't think they're appropriating our culture. Now, this is why I believe that. Okay. I want to get a lot of flack for this. I don't think you can really appropriate a hairstyle. Now, I get it. Black people, our hairstyles are usually protective styles. And, I'm just touched the mic. I'm so sorry, Mikey. Our hairstyles are protective hairstyles. And, like, they're used for our hair type. And it was always seen as, like, you can't wear your hair like that. You can't wear it. But I don't think cornrows or like French braids to the back are just for Black people.
So I think the issue is that when Black people wear cornrows or these other protective stylings, they're looked as ghetto and untasteful. And then you have these white bitches coming out and doing the same thing. They're like, "Oh, you're so edgy. Look at you."
See, to me, that's not culture.
Hot hip style. That's what they started saying.
But that's more society, though. That's not their fault. If they want to wear their hair cornrowed back, or it's not even cornrow in our reality, it's really just braided, French braided back. That's all it is. But if they want to do that, do that. Now, it's a difference if they went into the workplace with that hairstyle and no one said anything to them. Now, if a Black person with their hairstyle went to the workplace with that hairstyle, then that's racism. Because you're really affecting them because that hairstyle's on that Black person. But if a white person wants to cornrow their hair, cornrow your hair. Like, I'm not going to be mad at you if that's what you want to do. Now, if you do it and then you're like, yo, blah, blah, then yes, you're appropriating culture.
Do it again.
Yo.
It's kind of like how people say, like you act Black or, whatever race. Because you can't really act the color, you just...
Oh yeah, I love that one.
So do I. I don't know.
You don't act Spanish.
You don't act Black.
You don't act Black. You act white. What?
Right.
What is acting white? What is acting
Taking shit
Black?
that doesn't belong to you.
She went there.
Genocide.
Yeah. That was my favorite thing about this Thanksgiving was all the tweets about like, oh wow, we're back in 1614 when the white people will spread disease and share food. And it's like, that whole thing that went around, it was like, everybody who has been testing positive for coronavirus has been like, yeah, I traveled. Yeah, I did that. When that, after Thanksgiving, all those things came out, like about all the spike that's still happening because
it hasn't stopped.
No one wants to sit down. But yeah, that was really funny. But yes, you're right. You're right. I think I said white. I don't know. Am I appropriating? No, I'm joking. Okay, let me stop making jokes.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to appropriate white culture.
You just said it.
Is it good credit?
There's no
that's
white culture.
That's not defined to white people.
I know that.
White people don't have a culture. Like, you hadn't been an ethnic group. Like, break it down.
Would Victorian era be white culture? Like the whole like powdered wigs and like their type of attire, is that considered like white culture? Or would it be considered European culture?
No, it would be Anglo-Saxon or European. Yeah, because like you can have like German or Scottish. That's why like white pride is racist because you can't. White isn't. It's a color. It's not.
It's a race.
Culture. It's not a cultural thing.
Okay, so then why is it? I mean, never mind.
Isn't white on the census?
Yeah, I mean, so is Black. But white is a race, not a nationality.
Yeah.
Or ethnicity. Well,
yeah, national ethnicity / you wanna categorize as the same thing. Because in all reality, I'm an American. But then
What's your nationality?
That's my nationality. My race is a black person.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like I'm a black American. Because black people have their own culture. Like, we actually came here. Well, we were brought here and had to create something for ourselves.
Yeah.
Correct that.
And so that's why we have black culture.
I was a boat stop before you.
Yeah. No. Yes, you were. And then you guys brought here to work on the railroads. And that was the Chinese, but Koreans just got invaded for no reason. And then you guys just all came over here because they all told you America was amazing. They lied.
They really did.
So that's the only reason why. That's crazy. Oh, white people. I'm sorry that y'all have it this tough. Just kidding. Welcome to our world. How does it feel to be hated?
I feel like they're the most hated group in ever.
They're the most, I think, hey, that's kind of hard. I would say they're most hated. I think they're the most, like, disrespected. In a sense of, I look at white people, how they look at every black person. They think that we're just, like, lazy and just ignorant. And I guess that's the word they think of us. I look at them that way. I'm like, you're all ignorant. And you all suck. And you're all racist. Which is sometimes really sad. Because there are some cool white people out there. But all the cool ones, I'm friends with them.
Yeah.
Not all
that's
the
how
cool
it
ones.
is. Like, just because of where I grew up, that's how I feel like when I see, like, a group of white people.
Every time you talk about the people that you grew up with, like, I want to punch them all in the throat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's Redneckville, so.
I know.
Small town, unless you're in one of the big cities in Pennsylvania and it's not that much better, they're racist all over the state. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah, racism is everywhere.
They're pretty open about it, I should say, in that state.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? How many people, like, did blackface, like, back in the day and still do to this day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really weird to me.
Well, it happens, like, all around the world, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's
like,
the thing. Like,
it's so prominent that, like, people really think that it's okay to paint yourself another color and then act that way.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy to me, that our society, like, allowed that. Because white people really think that they can get away with anything.
I mean, it spread to not just white people, too. Like, in Korea,
oh, yeah.
there was those teenage boys that did the blackface. And it's, like, making fun of, like, some funeral video. And they said it was just for comedy. And this guy who called them out for it, he was from Ghana. And was like, you know, it's disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. And everyone else shit on him and basically tried to get him deported, like, get him fired off this show. Like, he's very popular in a lot of Korean shows. And they were like, yeah, and basically he was the one to apologize, ended up apologizing. They never apologized for what they did. He had to apologize for calling them out because they're just teenage boys or whatever, that they were underage, and he shared their picture on social media. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. Like, that's really fucked up. You made the person who was not necessarily the victim, but like he was it's offensive to him, his culture and everything, and you made him apologize for it. That's really fucked up.
It really makes me sad how the world works. Like, a lot.
It makes me sad, but it's also a reality that we have to live in. And it sucks that we have to live in this reality, but
it really comes down to everyone, I think, making and I mean like not non-white, non-black people making a conscious effort to, I forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
Not be racist.
Not be ignorant. Yeah, not be ignorant. No,
educate themselves.
Educate themselves and other people. Because, like, I'm telling you, even if you're a white liberal or whatever, you could still be fucking racist.
Like, we all saw, what was her name in the park? What was her name?
Central Park Amy. I don't know.
Central Park Amy. Yeah, that was her name.
Like, you can still.
I'm a Democrat. I could never be raped. Then why did you call the cops on this black man who told you put your dog on a leash? That clearly said dogs on a leash.
Can't tell that.
He's attacking me.
And then when she did put the dog on a leash, the bitch choked the dog.
Yeah.
Amy, get out of here.
That is just entitled.
And now there's a whole law named after you. So thank you.
She has that. That's her legacy.
That is your
That's
legacy.
terrible last
behind
name.
it.
Oh my! I think I would be
seriously.
embarrassed if that was my mom.
Right? Did you? There was a video. There was.
But
a
she was
woman-
like 30s. That's the other sad part about it. She was like a 30-year-old liberal.
I know, but she can still have a child, and it's
100%.
all over the internet. And then all of a
She
sudden,
did.
you're gonna be like, "Mom, this was you."
Now she has children in the
So,
future.
yeah.
That's gonna be her legacy. Yes, like you're a racist bitch, mom.
That's,
Because you
that's
know,
embarrassing.
every generation after us. I mean, because you know, some of us are still millennials or conservative as fuck, and like I'm voting for Trump still, which I'm whatever. But
well, you also, I mean, you all kinds of people.
I know, but like I feel like the younger Gen Z and after, they're very liberal. I mean, obviously there are some conservatives out there still.
That doesn't make a difference in racism.
Oh no, I know, but I'm saying, but a lot of them are all for Black Lives Matter and for like immigration. Like a lot of them still feel that way. Now you have to counteract racism to be actually not racist.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that's what they do, but I don't know what they do in their personal times. But from what social media has told me, they out here protesting with us, out here cussing their parents out for being racist.
Funny
So I'm
shit
like,
ever.
y'all go ahead. Because I need millennials to start doing that. Because once, it's so sad to say, but really once our parents move on, the world might be a little bit better. Because they're very stuck in their ways.
I don't know, because
I said a little bit. I didn't
know.
say it was
I'm
going to be
just
perfect.
Like, I don't know. I just don't think so. I don't think anything will change, honestly.
I do.
I don't know.
The
You
people,
are very hopeful.
because the people coming into office now, especially this last election with all the new House members, they're all very open-minded thinking people.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing a lot of the closed-minded old white men that have always been elected. You're seeing a lot more women of color. So I'm like, they're the ones who are going to be making the laws and passing stuff and proposing things. So I would assume things would change. It's not just going to be a bunch of old white men and the 3 white ladies in, Congress anymore. Now we have a Black woman that's about to be our vice president. Like, that's crazy. I don't think any of us thought that would ever happen in life. I mean,
I didn't think I would ever see a Black president. So.
Yeah. And the fact that we're seeing a woman, that to me gives me hope. Like, it gives me hope, and I can see things possibly making a change. Like, I mean, it's not going to happen in 10 years, but I can see in maybe 30, 40 years, I can see police reform maybe by then taking a toll. I think it's going to be introduced in the next, 5 to 10 years, but it obviously won't take effect. It takes a while for the policy changes to actually work.
I mean, you have the policy changes, and you gotta change the people and their mentality.
But that's what I mean.
Part of the problem is the police unions and
but it's really education. No one's educated properly on America in general and the things that minorities have been through. So they are only taught that there was slavery, there was a civil rights movement, and that's it. Mm-hmm. You don't know about the immigrants coming over. You don't know about the Chinese Americans that were discriminated against. 9/11, did they talk about how Muslims were, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that white people are just blinded by because of education.
It's basically to
whitewash.
Make themselves look better.
So they won't have their white guilt.
Yeah.
But it's you need to feel your white guilt.
My African American history teacher, he was like, the stuff that you read in your history books, they're half-truths. And he's like, it's because history is written by the winner. And they always want to paint themselves in the best light, which everybody wants to be looked at in a good light. But it's very unfortunate. But we're definitely off topic.
Yeah, but it's I feel like it all goes into play. What
society allowed is what is happening.
Yes, it's the cause and effect. Mm-hmm. This is the cultural appropriation is the effect of society not giving a fuck about minorities in general. To where you have the right to make fun of a Black person, you have the right to make fun of a Hispanic and be a white person dressed up as a chola and think, oh, I'm out here, and it's no, that's Mexican people. That's not all Hispanic people. That's someone comes hey, Mexican, and it's
I'm not Mexican.
Bitch, I'm not Mexican. Like, what? No, don't call me that.
But I wouldn't mind being Mexican,
yeah.
but
like,
I'm not Mexican.
Kind of like fetishism, sort of, too. Is that
what?
Like fetishism? You know, like, so I've had a lot of people, white men, tell me that how much they love Asian women, and they're like, they're so respectful, they're so, like, I don't know, like, all this other shit. Like, basically, like, this woman will take care of you and listen to you and do her fucking.
It's not just Asian women, you.
And I'm like,
if you treat a woman right, she will take care of you.
I'm like, bro, you're acting like this woman's gonna be a robot for you. Like that this dude went to Thailand to fuck prostitutes. Yeah, like, and be there for months. And it was literally the only reason he went.
That's, I mean, no offense to Thailand, but aren't some of them, a lot of them are transsexuals?
I mean, that doesn't matter.
I know what I'm saying. My thing is that, to me, I'm like, you're going over there to fuck some transsexual people. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I'm like, just stay here and fuck transsexuals. Why spend all that
No,
money?
it's because
like,
he wants Asians.
You have that, yeah. He's basically trying to find himself like a wife or some shit in a prostitute. I don't fucking know. But is it?
Can he buy a wife off the internet?
You can't do that.
It's some, like, fucking weird ass shit.
I think that's weird too.
Cultural.
I don't know. I'm gonna figure out how to appropriate white culture.
We should figure. That's what we should do today. How can we appropriate white culture? That can be a way.
I'm gonna figure that out.
Calling the cops on someone minding their business.
Oh,
that's
good
a good
one. We should start doing that.
I'm gonna stop seasoning my food.
Oh, another good one. I have nothing in the tank.
Although I know a lot of white people who do season the fuck out of their food.
I know a few, not a lot, but I know a few. Like, it's really hard to think. Like, what are, I mean, I guess these are all like, what?
The thing about your white friends?
Oh no, to think about ways to appropriate white culture.
Oh, I had one and it slipped out of my head.
Like, what else do they do?
You know what I guess white culture can also be? Them being able to trace like their family tree back for like thousands of generations.
I mean, in all reality, like one of my friends used to work for like a gene clinic thing where they did all the genetic testing and stuff. And she was saying how Black people in America, they would come and she'll be like, hey, so what's your heritage? And they'll be like, America? And you're like, yeah, I get that, but like, where is it? And they're like, America, because like we obviously don't really know. And most of the time, Black people have at least 15% white in them because of the way that like things started. Because like in all reality, my ancestors could be 2 white people from England. Like my lineage could have started from there, but over time and with mixing, it could have turned into me being a Black person now. You know, because my grandmother is very light-skinned, so it's like at some point to make a lighter skinned person, vanilla has to be mixed into there at some point.
Vanilla was introduced to the bathtub.
So, you know, or a white person eventually started fucking a Black person and then their children, like, you know what I mean? Like, so in all reality, my lineage could be from England and I just don't know. But in all reality, I'm pretty sure it's from Africa. But I still don't know. And I really wanted 23andMe.
I want to do a 23andMe too.
Because Diana's results like made me really like want to look into it. And then my friends who have done it, they like know what African they are. And I'm like, what if mine really isn't African?
What did yours say?
50% Korean, 50% Ashkenazi or Ashkenazi Jew.
So white.
Well, we already knew that.
And that's what she said. And she was like, they pretty much told me what I already knew.
But it was just to prove to myself that I was half Korean.
Well, not to prove to yourself.
Well, yeah.
You knew you were half Korean.
You didn't know you were half Korean?
My mom says she's half white. But she's not.
Okay.
That
and
woman
who told
not.
her that?
Herself.
She just made it up in her mind.
Yeah, like it's a whole thing. Like my mom, she said she wants to get she has wanted to get the eyelid surgery since I was a kid, and said it was for medical reasons. But She has no reasons why. Like, she needs fucking an eyelid, a
Yo,
second eyelid, a dual
That's
eyelid.
like that's like a very popular
But like, she wants to be white.
surgery.
I mean, it makes sense that you would want to be white because you come to a country where you see that white people are treated amazingly, and then you see that others are not treated amazingly because they're not white. So why would you not want to be white? I mean, for a while growing up, I would be like, why do the white girls get to do their hair just so much easier to work with? Like, they just put in a ponytail and go, and I have to sit here, and I'm like, I used to like hate my hair.
Yep.
But now I'm just like, I love my hair. Locks 1 year in, baby.
I'm very happy.
That's my love.
Sounds like sex.
Oh,
Another.
okay, all right. Flashbacks. Don't you hate that moment when you have a flashback to your sexual
No,
experience?
I don't.
Well, it's always at the worst times. Like right now, we're doing a podcast, and I just got a flashback, and I'm just like, do I want to hit you up tonight? No, I'm not. I'm gonna let it go.
I'm gonna go with yes.
No, I think he's out of town. So yeah, that's kind of
Out of town?
Yeah, if we go home for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
forgot.
Why would
I forgot.
You forgot that it's Christmas time after?
No, I forgot that he left.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Cultural.
I have in-house. Are you crying?
No, I'm just tired. My eyes are starting to water.
Oh.
Don't do that.
Look, you. Ow.
That's okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to poke me my titty too.
No.
They miss being rubbed. Okay, we're getting off topic. I mean, I'm really trying to think of what more to talk about. I just hate cultural appropriation. I just hate when black people get really upset at certain things. Because part of me is like, we need to, as a culture, accept that our culture is worldwide and that people want to be us. And now if they do blackface, if they're out there like trying to like mimic us and be rude about it, yes, but like, okay, Malibu's Most Wanted. Do you think that was a bad movie?
When I first saw it, I thought it was funny, but then like looking back as an adult, I'm like, ooh, it's a bit much.
There's something that, like, as a
It's
kid,
a bit much.
I would
Okay, so but because there were black people in it, and they were, would you say that they were just like, they understood it was a movie and that it was for like comedic things? Because he wasn't out there like, he wasn't out there in blackface. Like, he was really just he saw a culture that he was in love with and he wanted to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that culture appropriation if you are so in love with hip hop culture that you now want to be? I mean, yes, we all knew he was from Malibu. Like, that's the whole premise of the movie, that he didn't live that lifestyle. But it's like, if he wants to wear sweatsuits, wear a chain, I guess it's called appropriation because he was mimicking.
I was going to say, it comes down to the way you speak.
His dialect. He was trying to make the dialect.
Because people, like, they say, like, you sound ghetto or whatever. Like, there's no way that you can sound ghetto.
But that's my thing, is that I think you can sound ghetto. You can't sound black. You can't sound white, but you can sound ghetto. Okay. Like, I speak proper English. I don't speak white. I speak proper English. I have a northern accent. That's what I have. I don't have a southern accent. Now, if I grew up in Memphis, my accent would be very southern, and I would have a southern city accent. Yeah. Because of where I'm from. That's not me talking black, but people consider that talking black, which is stupid.
I don't know. Because I'm like thinking cultural appropriation, like from like in Korean culture, like with their rap, their hip hop artists, and even like their pop singers, sort of. I think, I don't know, I'm not really as in tune with the Korean music industry, but given like Korea's past issues with racism, with colorism, mistreatment towards black people or black Koreans, like mixed Koreans and shit, like there's admiring or respecting a culture, but there's also, you gotta acknowledge the part where you're contributing to the problem also, you know, and sort of taking advantage.
So you think they're taking advantage of the like hip hop culture when they like whenever like there's Japanese hip hop artists, Chinese hip hop artists, Korean hip hop artists. Like, see, to me, music is an expression.
Yeah.
Like people always like some people like I mean look at Tori Kelly and like JoJo. They sing very soulful, so it's like they're not appropriating Black culture. That's their voice and that's how it sounds, and they make soulful music like. Not one race can make like a Darius Rucker. He makes country music. You know, he's a Black man making country music. Like music to me is universal. Like I don't now if you are a Korean person and you're like Black people didn't make hip hop and it's like whoa okay relax over
Pump the brakes.
Calm down. Like you know that Black people created hip hop, so chill out on that. I mean Black people created music, so. In all reality, everyone's appropriating Black culture because we're the ones who created music. We started classical music as well. So, what now? Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
What were you gonna say, Diana?
I don't know. You've been doing this
all day.
Oh, because my back is hurting, so I keep shifting positions.
Would you like some Excedrin or Aleve?
No, I got an 800 milligram. I'm taking when I get home.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock you out.
No, I don't know. I just feel like this is just what I was saying earlier, how non-Black people have responsibility to, like, I don't know, like, not acknowledge, acknowledge, like, kind of like the history and the culture that, I don't know if they're not, I don't want to say representing, borrowing from, or taking inspiration from, but at the same time, like, acknowledging the shit that's happening in society.
Currently.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, it's kind of like ignoring that there's a problem. Like, kind of. It's like taking the best parts, but saying, you know, deal with the rest. You know what I mean? And that's literally part of white culture history.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Taking the bad?
Yeah. Or not the bad, just like not dealing with the consequences of, I don't know. Because like white people, they come, they take what they need. Like even the Middle East today, if you look at it, it's all to spread democracy, protect democracy, but it's not. It's American interests. That's at the end of the day, how does this best serve American interests? Our capitalist, free market economy, how does this support our economy? That's all. It's all literally like a game. How is this going to help me win?
Yeah, completely correct. That's all America cares about is itself. That's how a lot of white Americans believe, that it's about them. That's why they don't really aren't into socialism, because they don't want to help out people. And I'm like, that's the only way society thrives.
And it's been literally drilled into them ever since the idea was even introduced into Western thought. I think that it's something bad. It's because it's against what was already established, what the people in power wanted for this country or whatever. Because we have there are socialist policies, things that people enjoy, and I'm like, do you realize that is socialism? The unions, everyone shits on unions, but I'm telling you, that's the reason why we got weekends.
And it should be longer. The work week should be 4 days.
Conditions and shit like that. So not everything is bad. The shit, you act like shit is bad, you make it all out to be bad when it's not. There is good in different shit. And it was it's about conserving money, not spending money. But I'm like, look at how much you put into defense, and you act like it's literally, you tell the American people that they're always under attack. They're going to be in support for you doing whatever to protect them. And I personally don't think it's the case. Yes, there are threats out there, but a huge threat is the American government themselves.
Yes.
No, that is the biggest. I feel like that's the biggest threat to the American people. The American government.
Our own government.
Yeah. Yes.
Tragic.
Oh man. I mean, in all reality, just don't appropriate culture. I don't get why that's so hard, especially it's 2020, about to be 2021. We all know what appropriating culture is, and we shouldn't do it. It's like very simple. I'm not about to put on hoop earrings, big ass hoop earrings, outline my lips, and go around saying I'm a chola. I'm not about to do that.
It's like the whole thing with remember we were talking about Gwen Stefani and Nicki Minaj?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how Gwen Stefani, it was like kind of fetishist, weird, like they weren't allowed to speak English, they literally had to act a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nicki Minaj, it was more like an homage, a nod to the culture.
But were those girls Japanese?
I mean, I think they were Japanese American.
Well, yeah.
What, the girls that
Gwen
Stefani, yeah, they were Japanese American, but they had to act like they couldn't speak English and talk.
So because they still have the Japanese culture, or, you know,
they had the look.
Ancestry.
That's what it was. It was a
would it still be
caricature
appropriation for them to have these Japanese accents? Because I've never heard them speak.
I don't know. That's also another
anything.
thing. That's also another thing, though. Like, is it offensive when like an Asian person mimics, like, you know, whatever accent their family might be from? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like,
I say no, because that's like saying that black people can't say nigga then.
yeah.
In all reality, it's like...
Well, a lot of people do say that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of black people that say that they shouldn't say that word.
Yeah, that's in there. The N-word's in there. We can have a whole day about that.
That's a whole other conversation.
Oh. Yeah. But that's like, okay, you know how like comedians say they can say whatever they want because it's all a joke, because it's a joke. And how I forgot which comedian said it was like, if a mentally disabled person can call another mentally disabled person the R word, but I can't come over and call you the R word. No. And it's like, I mean, should anyone say that word? It all comes down to that. But it's, in my opinion, I think that if you wanted to put on a Korean accent, you're Korean. If I wanted to come out here and say the N-word, I can say the N-word. You know what I mean? Like, that's my culture. Like, that's your culture. You're not stealing from it. You're not making, well, I guess you could be making fun of it if you want to be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know how with family, like, I can make fun of you, but no one else can make fun of you, like, because you're my family, and then at that point, like, now I have to fight you.
Yeah, that's how I feel it.
When white people do it, it's like, I can't remember the name of the show, and I'm like kicking myself because in hindsight, I'm like, that actually wasn't funny. I'm like, he was basically pretending to speak Chinese, where he kept saying, he was like, Chong Ching, like, this white guy was like, Chong Ching, Chong Lang, like, saying all these, like,
not another
random
teen
words.
movie.
No.
Oh.
No, it was a TV show.
But that character.
It was a TV show, and it was I don't know, it was part of some, like, business plan with, like, the Chinese or something.
And you thought it was funny at the time.
Yeah, but in hindsight, like,
was he a Chinese American or was he
white?
a
white man, an old white man. And in hindsight, I'm looking back, I'm like, that was actually pretty fucking offensive. Like, I would be offended today, like, watching it over. I'm like, that's offensive.
I mean, look at The Office. Everyone says that The Office was on the air in today's climate. It would have been canceled after the first episode, because the first episode of The Office is called Diversity Day, where Michael makes them all put cards on their head.
But that's also the thing with, like, satire. It's like, is there a line that you cross? Like,
yes.
There's a line, right?
Yes.
So it's like, when are you crossing the line with it?
I mean, in all reality, Diversity Day, an Office episode crossed the line.
Yeah.
Now, it's still hilarious.
I've never seen The Office. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you haven't, and I've told
and now
you
it's
I
off,
feel...
And it's been off of Netflix for a couple weeks now, so...
No, we still have 2 more weeks left.
When is it leaving?
December 31st at midnight. So January of next year, it's over.
So you would like me to binge watch? How many seasons is it?
There's 9 seasons.
What? And how long are the episodes?
30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. I think season 4 for the first half of it, I think they did an hour. I think they they only did 2 episodes that are 40 minutes. Everything is still 30-minute episodes. I mean, we're gonna go off subject. The Office is the best show in the entire world, so sorry. Me and my best friend are actually thinking about getting Peacock, which is NBC's thing, and just paying for a year. It's $60 for a year. So she'll pay $30 and I'll pay. I mean, right now it's free. So I don't know how long it's gonna be free, but for a whole year it's $60. I paid
they
that
have commercials.
No, you can do the no ad.
No, the one that I have, it apparently like it popped up on
that's the
cable
free
thing,
version, yeah.
And I don't like to watch it.
Yeah, that's why I would pay for no ads. Like I have Hulu no ads. Like I don't like ads. I don't like ads at all.
I got tired.
That's some peasant shit.
That's why I'm really upset about Netflix raising. I know we're getting so off topic, but Netflix raising their prices is just the most annoying.
They raised their prices again?
It's $17.99 now.
I need to get on someone's account.
I mean, I have mine, and that's the only thing I pay for, so that's why I'm kind of just like, whatever, Emily, you only pay for the Netflix. Like, but people who do Netflix Hulu, who like split that, now Hulu is still only $12.99 without ads, and Netflix is now $17.99.
That's
so it's
ridiculous. I think it's to cover all the production.
That is what it's for.
It's like they had the issue a couple years ago where they weren't making any money, and it's like how when you have so many, they were putting so much back into the shows. That's why they canceled so many shows.
Yeah,
listen. There were so many shows that they could have fucking canceled, but y'all shouldn't have canceled one day at a time. Okay?
That was
the fuck?
Or Jessica Jones.
That you just read my mind.
Jessica Jones, Luke Cage.
Jessica Jones was one of the best shows I've seen in a really long time. And I love that show. And I'm really upset.
I remember watching that show, an episode on acid, and I really thought I was in the room with her mom. And I was like, oh my God, this bitch is gonna kill me. I was like, fuck. I was laying on the ground like, just like in my head screaming.
I feel like you have a lot of fun on acid, and I want to be there without actually being on acid.
Well, that's not possible.
I know.
You could be there, not in my head, but
no, like I want to be in like the same state of mind that you are in, but I don't want to take acid.
Scroomies. We could have a little scroomy day.
The best I have ever.
Maybe for an episode we can trip out.
I mean, I don't really think you should record those moments, but okay.
No.
You know?
A little behind the scenes in the future when we're famous.
I mean, I don't have a problem.
We can do that.
I don't have a problem doing one drunk.
This is for in 5 years from now, We're going to show this at one of my mansions.
No, one of them.
Yes.
Exactly.
We'll have multiple
Speaking
properties.
Of
Exactly.
Can you have a pool? And then have like a projector out there so I can just lounge in the pool.
Yes, I want like an infinity pool. Just look over the edge with a waterfall in it.
Oh wow! How cultural appropriation just goes to our dream homes. Yay! Love us staying on topics. We don't have a time limit. We just talk.
We talk until we feel like
with cultural appropriation, like I can see it in my mind. Yes, we are. I can see it in my mind, but I don't know how to explain it in a way where like it'll make sense to everybody else because it makes sense to me.
What do you mean by that? Like, we all know what it is. It's
I'm yes, but you also know that I have a very hard time communicating my point.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kicked something.
But as little.
Your turn. That's a good tongue. It's going to be weird.
So, yeah.
I get it. I'm going to just say I get it.
I feel like if you don't know the history of something, then I don't think that you should be out here putting it out into the world. Like, if you don't know the history of getting your hair braided, then I don't think that you should be doing it. Or if you don't know the history of... like when I told you how I would love to do geisha makeup, but I don't know all the history. And I don't want to just slap the makeup on my face and be like, I did this because I appreciate it. And I don't know really anything about it. I just think that the makeup is beautiful. And I feel like that's what people have to understand. Like, you have to know the history that goes into all of these things that you want to do or,
Yeah, it's like
I understand
with ignoring anything that came with it.
Yeah. Like,
and that's why when going back to what we first said about the Kardashians, how like during the whole Black Lives Matter thing when it first started, everyone was like, why aren't the Kardashians saying anything? They have all these children by black men. And it's like, why are you looking to the Kardashians to speak about black issues? Now, they did, but it's like, who cares if they don't in all reality?
I think it's just the platform, the amount of people that they reach.
That's understandable, but you have to also understand that some people
were really looking at them to speak on
Oh my God, yes, girl. I remember Twitter was having a field day like, Why hasn't Kylie said anything? She got a black daughter, which I get. If you have black children, excuse me, you should be speaking up about these things because your child is affected. But don't criticize them and ridicule them. Like, I'm sorry, but like Kim Kardashian, as much as you want to say hate her, she's out here fighting for black people. Like, yeah, who cares? It's Kim Kardashian, but like, at least she's getting people out of jail. Like, y'all just need to look at the bigger picture. Like, Kim Kardashian has a name for herself. Let her use it. Let her use it for a good thing. Like I just get so frustrated with people in general when they hate on
issues
everyone.
Though with the Kardashians is like the way that they get a pass, whereas black women wouldn't get that same pass when it comes to like hair or
but that's not their fault. That's society's fault. Society is the one who told black women.
Yeah, but I also feel like they know that they get passes, and I feel like they just still continue to do these things.
But what are they supposed to say? I like to get my hair braided, so every black girl should have every black girl knows they can get their hair braided. It's society that has to change.
That's not what she's trying to say.
What are you trying to say? That's what I mean. I don't know what else they do that appropriates our culture besides their hairstyles.
Know what the fuck they do.
That's what I'm saying. What they don't try to talk black. They don't sit here and try to make hip hop music and R&B.
But I'm saying what everyone else's issue is the fact that they wear the hairstyles or get the plastic surgery.
Then every person in America who has had plastic surgery.
No, it's not about just the yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm saying with the platform that they have, like, the opportunities to access, like, the things that they can say, share with people, influence people or whatever.
But who says they don't, though? They post about Black Lives Matter. Kim is out here trying to get people who are put in jail for no reason out of jail.
I think it's the way that people look at them.
So that's their fault.
Black women, like, society looks at them.
That's society then, because I'm
not saying it's their fault, but like, should they be quiet about it? Because I feel like they're quiet about it. When it comes to people calling them out for that, they don't say anything ever. And I feel
what are they supposed to say? I'm appropriating black culture?
You don't have to say you're appropriating black culture, but
they're not.
Maybe just talk about the issues that people have an issue with that. Does that make sense? So
they should talk about the issue of, why are you guys criticizing me for my hair? Because they get criticized for it, just how black people get criticized for their hair. They are literally ridiculed for wearing their hair in cornrows because it's a black style. When black people now, not every workplace, obviously, because there are a lot of workplaces still that can discriminate against you because of your hair, and which is just dreadful.
That's ridiculous.
It's so stupid. But it's like, if you're, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because
we see.
I just like to look at things from all perspectives. I'm not saying you're not doing that at all. I'm not saying that. But I can't get mad at them for going and getting their butt injected when, yes, black people used to be ridiculed and say, oh, you have a fat ass, or you have a fat blah, blah, blah. But now it's acceptable. Most black women are praised for having big butts now. Because even black women themselves are going to get surgeries to make their butts even bigger. That's just because society standards have changed now. Like, back in the day, it was all about flat asses. That's why Sir Mix-a-Lot made that song. It was like, y'all like flat ass? I like big butts. Like, what? Y'all magazines are lying about these flat booties being the thing. And it's like, yeah, because now society has changed. And you're like, even men's standards. Men back in the 90s, I think, loved skinny women. And now it's all about, I want a curvy girl. I want a thick girl. And it's like, everything, maybe in 20 years, it's going to go back to being flat and no curves. Like, it doesn't matter, in my opinion. Like, I don't see.
To talk about the issues?
No,
that's
but what issue is it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what are they supposed to say? Like,
they're being praised. Okay, so they're getting praised for their hair.
They're not being praised though. When have they ever been praised for wearing cornrows?
You never saw what the media be like.
No, not the media. No, they talk about the models. They do that with white models. Remember that white fashion designer did all cornrows for his show? They're like, look at what this hot. They did that. The Kardashians get ridiculed for everything.
They also decided that they weren't going to call them cornrows. They called them boxer braids.
That's what I was going to say.
That wasn't the Kardashians, though. That was the models in that fashion design.
I wasn't talking about them, but I just thought it was absolutely insane that you're calling these cornrows boxer braids.
Yes, that was them being dumb. Like magazines being stupid. The fashion industry did that.
But you don't think like they should say anything at all?
What are they supposed to say? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. It's like
I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, and I feel like even if they do say something, they're still going to be ridiculed regardless. Well, yeah. People love to hate them, and people love to love them.
Yeah.
And it's people are always going to be on opposite sides.
Yeah.
I don't really care for them. I think they are beautiful women. I just don't like that they're not. I don't feel like they're honest with a lot of things that they do.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel about it. But I mean, all of them badass bitches with or without the surgeries.
Yeah,
whatever Kylie injected into her body, that should look good.
Yes, and I'm all here for it, baby girl. Do your thing.
That should look good. But the issue is, especially like, and you know this about me, like I don't like to be lied to.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like the socialites and things like that, like they get their bodies done and then they want to drop a fucking workout mixtape.
I just use the sculptor to sculpt my whole body to be different.
So you mean if I buy this and eat this and wear this waist trainer, I'm gonna look like you? No, I also need 20 bands to get the shit. Like, don't
get that transfer, baby.
Like that's the issue.
Yeah, no,
for me, but that has nothing to do with cultural appropriation.
Yes, that's something. Yeah, I don't think like. Remember when Kim did the whole? They made her body look like that one black model. She did that with the champagne.
Oh, with the champagne thing.
And everyone called that cultural appropriation. Which she was saying, I was playing, was it homage? That's the word.
Homage.
I don't know. Homage? Is it homage? Yeah.
Oh, it's French? Oh, then that's why I don't know.
All the words today are French.
They even tried to call Cardi B out on it for her Billboard. The recent one that she was named Billboard Woman of the Year. All the pictures she released, she looks a lot darker. Her skin tone is a lot darker. They're like, you are like, okay, still going about it.
So they called her out for
her skin is darker, but she was like, that's just lighting. That's what the lighting looks like. And I'm like, why? Like, stop. I just feel like everyone.
Too much critical.
It's so much criticism on things that are so small and minute. If Cardi B got on here and was 10 shades darker, you can say something, but her makeup is a little bit darker just for the effect of the shoot, to like create, like as a photographer, you want to create certain tones with the photo. Yeah. So makeup reflects that. Like she didn't come out here with blackface on. She literally, her makeup is a little bit darker. It's probably editing as well to create that tone that the photographer wants. I don't know. It's a lot that I'm just like, guys. Like that's the one thing I can agree with some people who say like, everything is so sensitive nowadays, so we're like,
absolutely it is.
There are certain things that like, I don't know how to explain it right now, but it's like everybody has an opinion about everything because your opinion is just easily, you're able to say your opinion so easily now. With us, we have a podcast. These are all of our opinions. On the internet, you can go comment on Cardi B's page right now and say, you did blackface. Now your opinion's out there, and now everyone else is like, oh my God, yes, and they just run with it, and it's like, no, that's not what happened. But because social media exists now, your opinion is just out there, and you can criticize anyone, which, God, that's a lot.
I love the internet trolls.
They be funny on some things, but sometimes I be annoyed with them. Like that.
Well, I was being sarcastic. Like I don't like them.
Oh no! Sometimes they're hilarious. Like I'd be like, yo, like whenever the whole whatever country Kylie's factories.
Yeah, I'm so confused as to why y'all thought that was okay.
We're on acid.
A lot of people, but when it first came out, were commenting like, you're a horrible person, all that shit, because we just have access to that now. You think you have access to these celebrities when they don't give a fuck about what you're writing about them.
They really don't.
Like, they're still, like, after the whole Nate Robinson thing, like getting punched out, I remember thinking to myself, y'all are clowning this man, but he's waking up in his $1 million mansion. I'm not saying money is everything, but y'all made him a meme. He went viral, yeah, but like no one's talking about it now. Like, are we really talking about Nate Robinson getting punched out anymore? No. That man's living in his mansion. He has $1 million still.
You know, I had to look up who these people were.
I know you did.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, I talked to her about it the next day, and she was like, I didn't even know there was a fight on, and I honestly didn't know either till that night when my friend called me. He was like, yo, you see Nate Robinson get knocked out? And I was like, what? Nate Robinson? Who? What happened? And then I knew all about it. Then obviously Twitter went crazy. But yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I had to Google it. And I'm like, I don't know who people are.
Same.
Oh wow, we actually almost went an hour. That's perfect.
So that's enough for today.
Yeah. Thanks. Happy Friday. Christmas is next week. Woo, woo, woo. Christmas episode's gonna be fun.
Thank you all for stopping by today.
Thanks for watching. Week. Thanks for listening. And like, if you're listening, go to our what page I'm trying to say? Go to our YouTube. Go to our YouTube so you can see our pretty faces along with this podcast.
Yes.
Goodbye.
And have a conversation down there about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about.
Yeah, leave us comments. Share. You know? We haven't been saying that on the podcast when we say goodbye.
No.
Leave a
comment, comment, hit the bell, subscribe, follow,
share,
do all that shit.
Am I missing something?
I think you hit all the bells and
show your mom,
show your boyfriend,
girlfriend,
your uncle.
Send it to a celebrity.
Yeah. I don't know. Do something.
Yeah, send it to a celebrity.
Send it to your pastor. Oh, never mind. Don't do that. Don't do
he
that.
Will not
never mind.
There's a lot of cussing and drug use.
Don't do that
in this podcast.
The lesbians are talking. The lesbian is talking.
I'm about to say the lesbians because Strictly Dickly bitch.
Strictly Dickly.
Well, she said the lesbian.
That's why
she said
yeah.
Well, she's the only lesbian.
That's why I was
like, myself.
Why are you talking?
I was like, no,
like,
not
I'm Strictly Dickly. So
and I like it all.
It had nothing to do with you. The only reason I corrected is I looked at Nasty and I'm like, no, not a lesbian.
I like it all. I don't care.
Anyway.
Oh God, we're always doing this. Bye. See you next time.